Cardiovascular Institute of the South is celebrating 40 years of delivering healthcare to our patients and communities. Founded by Dr. Craig Walker in 1983 and guided by a mission to provide the highest quality cardiovascular care available, CIS has pioneered hundreds of firsts to improve outcomes for cardiovascular diseases. Through new technology, virtual care, outpatient procedures, and national growth, CIS is improving lives and leading the way for advanced care and innovation.
Everybody, welcome back to Bayou Time. Harry McCullough here. Time to check in St. Mary Parish. They're just getting over the storm. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we talk about a couple of arrests with the public information officer. He's Detective Lieutenant David Spencer. David, thanks so much for being with us, man. Like I said, we'll talk about the storm in a second. But you guys had a couple of narcotics arrests that actually looked pretty serious.
They were. Cameron Kenshin and Michael Kenshin were both charged with having possession of an unregistered weapon and possession of an automatic weapon. And, that's bad stuff. To be honest with you, we were talking with the sheriff the other day, and he said, we're all for people's right to own a gun and to lawfully have a gun, but this illegal stuff, we're not going to put up with that in St. Mary. And we were able to arrest these guys, and those were on state charges. So they had the automatic weapons, or had altered their weapons to be automatic, and had the mechanisms to do that. And those are state charges. But we have here some guys that are also commissioned with Homeland Security investigations as officers, and they're cooperating a little further with the feds at this point, and we could see additional charges, some federal charges on this as well, and they got $350,000 bonds set for them. So the state of Louisiana and those of us in St. Mary Parish should take that very serious.
Yeah, you should. And as we were looking at those guns, you hear the term switch, right? So I think those two little notches right there below those guns are the two switches which allow these weapons to turn into automatic weapons, basically, and can shoot 30 bullets at a time when you look at the magazines that these weapons have. Those are probably, 9mm Glocks that I'm looking at. I don't know my guns all that much. But when you put those switches on them, that's when they become real dangerous.
Right. And in Louisiana, just having those mechanisms is against the law. When you have them installed in a weapon, then you're looking at at even further charges with federal guidelines.
How do these switches get into our communities, right? I mean, is it the internet? I mean, can we track this? How can we stop this from happening?
I think sometimes people, buy them on the street. I think sometimes they buy them out of this area and have them shipped in various ways. I mean, it's always amazing to me that if someone wants to commit a crime, they somehow will find a way to do it, and they do.
Yeah, and no doubt about it. When you look at those weapons, if you've ever seen them fired, they become automatic weapons. And the main problem about that, it's not just, if you shot an AR-15, you can, every time you pull the trigger, you can almost aim. With this thing, it just almost vomits the bullets out all at one time. And that's when there's no real aiming. That's just spraying bullets all over the place. And that's when other people get injured, bystanders. It's a real dangerous situation.
Yeah, this is not good at all. And of course, in a lot of our parishes in Louisiana and across the country in different counties and areas, juvenile crime has been an issue. These two young men are very young. One of them 17, one of them 19. We're doing all we can in St. Mary Parish to try to do our part as law enforcement to get these young people back on the straight and narrow. But these kind of crimes are very, very serious.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see them get into that kind of thing, get arrested, and now you're in the system and you got some issues that'll follow you around the rest of your life. So the message is very strong that don't bring this stuff into St. Mary.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. And this was just police work. You had a warrant for them. Just police work. You guys finding out about these kind of weapons?
It was good work for sure. And like I said, we have a task force officer that it's on staff with us, and he's working very much with the feds at this point to see if additional charges can be placed on him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, David, let's talk a little bit about storm recovery. You guys are dealing with a pretty good lick. So did Houma and a lot of the surrounding area. How is all the cleanup going?
It's going pretty good. We had some folks that had some trees go down. To me, it looks like if you had a tree that was, sick, it definitely got taken out. And a lot of these trees fell on people's houses. So you've got some roof damage. We're reminding our people that, now that they have to get some repairs made, to make sure that you're very careful with who you do business with.
Right.
Make sure that they are licensed, bonded, insured. And we're encouraging them to look at South Louisiana businesses that do this. These are the people that are here with us, and they'll be here with us, and think about them first.
Yeah, and no doubt we been through that 4 years ago with Ida, and a lot of people coming through and doing work that they shouldn't have been doing, and yeah, you end up with lawsuits and insurance claims and all that kind of stuff. It's very important. But people are power back on that becomes one of the main things is power back on. Most of the people I talked to in Morgan City said it's about 3 or 4 days.
It was. I live in Berwick, and I think I was out 2 days. And I want to tell you, man, these linemen. Oh, wow. I think people down in South Louisiana love linemen because they come in here from all over and they get busy and they get this stuff restored. It's amazing to see how they work.
Yeah, without a doubt. And those guys are heroes, and they get back up there as quickly as possible. They work from sun up to sundown, and they do a great job. And, yeah, where would we be without them? So I'm sure the recovery will happen. You guys have a setup probably at the auditorium, I think, where you can go and check in there and get any help if you need it, right?
They had a pod and had it set up. I think they still got some stuff over in Morgan City. I know groups like the Oklahoma Baptists came in,
right.
And man, they cooked, and there were stuff. I got several phone calls from Texas from people that wanted to send over trailer loads of things. So as bad as storms are, it is really nice to see how South Louisiana people bond together and how people in the country come and do this. I'm a transplant. I'm from North Mississippi. You can probably tell by the way I talk. I sound like cornbread, But man, it's always been amazing to me to watch these folks down here and how they take care of their neighbors. And we saw it around here too with this storm. People were running and helping folks out. If your place didn't get tore up that bad, but your neighbor did, that's what you do. You go help him out.
Okay. Well, David, we appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming in from Mississippi and helping the people of St. Mary Parish. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks.
All right. We'll be right back with more Bayou Time after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights.